Hi everyone, Gihan here. This is just a quick update on my new and slightly improved Stream Deck. As you see, I ended up buying a bigger Stream Deck because I kind of added a number of extra buttons over the last few months. This is further to my previous YouTube video posted probably about a year ago, just to introduce and share some ideas about how to use a Stream Deck in general practice. A few things have changed since, so the purpose of today's video is to perhaps show some of these ideas, and I'm more than happy to share these with everyone else, and of course feel free to let me know what your ideas and how you're using your Stream Deck as well. So the first button I want to show you today is my start button. This is what I use every morning when I come to work. As the first thing, what it does is it opens up the browser, Outlook, my email, best practice, and also doctor's control panel. So all of that is done using one button, which is quite helpful. And next, perhaps let me show you most frequently used and most efficiently used button, and I think that would be the Pfizer vaccines and flu vaccines. Pfizer vaccines, I've got first dose, second dose, third dose, fourth dose, and of course the first row is for left arm and right arm. What it does is, for instance, booster left arm will fill out the notes, and also will go into the immunization section, fill out the batch, the other side, and also update the Australian Immunisation Register details. We'll do the billing and also put the reason for visit as the COVID vaccine fourth dose, just here. I can let it automatically finalize as well, but I normally like to validate that myself. Therefore, I just leave it there. So essentially, we'll fill out this item number. I do need to manually add that item number because there are two stacked item numbers there. I haven't figured out a way to do it automatically, but still I would like to see it myself before I finalize to make sure it's sent appropriately. The same goes for the flu vaccine as well. Now, a couple of extra buttons here. Over 65, 6 months to 64, and 5 to 64, depending on whether they are eligible for National Immunisation Program funded vaccines. And also, again, two separate columns there for right arm and left arm. Again, it does the same thing. It will fill out the notes, reason for visit, update the vaccine, batch number details, send it to Australian Immunisation Registry, and also finalize the billing. So again, saves a lot of time. Let me briefly go through the rest of the buttons as well. Some of them were there in my previous YouTube video as well. The first three buttons here, as you see, are for telehealth item numbers that are commonly used. Usually the item under 6 minutes and over 6 minutes are frequently used. This one specific for patients who are unwell with COVID. There's a few extra buttons here, again, frequently used MBS item numbers that I don't remember on top of my head, for instance, the ECG items and so on. And these are quite helpful so that you don't have to remember all of that. Next one is all mental health care plan and mental health care item numbers. And what I've done here is I've got face-to-face item numbers up here and corresponding video health item numbers. This one is COVID item for patients who recently had COVID and provided face-to-face care. Up here we have SafeScript login username, again, mostly for Victorian GPs. IMED, again, a Victoria specific one that stores the IMED email address. So if you want to send a request directly to the patient and email a copy to IMED as well, you can just use that email address. Essentially what it does is it fills out the IMED online email address, which is that one. Next one, I had it previously as well, codes for reason for visit for viral alerts. This is my APRA number. This button fills out smoking and alcohol history. Essentially it says non-smoker and alcohol drinker, quite useful if when you're seeing children to update that information, and when you're entirely sure that the patient doesn't smoke or drink. This sends one button information to my health record, shared health summary. I'll go through inbox in a second. This is my electronic signature. This is our eFax link. Some patient information sheets here, adult virality information sheet. I normally text those information directly to the patient. Royal Children's Hospital virality information sheet and Royal Children's Hospital podcast. These three buttons send some information via text to the patient about the nearest GP respiratory clinic, and also how to make an appointment and their direct booking link. Couple of items that are very specific for treatment room. I really quite infrequently use them, for instance for Proleas and so on. And this sends a medical certificate to the patient via email. This opens up Proda, and this is my SafeScript pin. Next page we discussed already. Inbox is one of the most commonly used section here, especially the normal no action button and under specialist care no action button. There's a couple of other things that I sometimes use: skip button, refresh button, and open patient's file button. It's quite useful when you're in best practice inbox. For instance, if I press normal no action button, what it does is this. And if I press specialist no action button, what it does is this. So there's no direct hotkey for that. You just have to go through that section and go press the down button a few times to go to the appropriate section. The delete button is also quite helpful, especially when you're going through a batch of results, and if you have duplicate results, for instance, urine, MCS, preliminary report, and a completed report. I normally delete the preliminary one once I receive the completed report. So that's a quick update. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to contact me if you want to share my Stream Deck profile. I'm more than happy to do so. And also, if you have any other ideas and if you would like to share yours, please let me know as well. I would really love to hear your feedback. One last thing I would quickly add on is, if you have a Corsair keyboard, you can actually get the keyboard to talk to the Stream Deck as well. I haven't really used it as much because I think there's enough buttons on the Stream Deck itself. But yeah, certainly can you utilize the keyboard and in fact the mouse as well if you have a Corsair keyboard, mouse, and a Stream Deck.